Hi, everyone. It's Tina Brigley, and I'm here with Vashti Kiros. And I just want to ask you guys this question. What would you do if you were told you had a 7 centimeter brain tumor and you had 2 weeks to get your personal and professional finances, life together, not knowing if you were actually going to come out of surgery, having a team of 8 people that you're responsible for, big responsibilities? What would you do? And Vashti went through that today, and her story completely blew me away because most people, I think, would lay down and think, "I'm gonna die," and stop their life. But what she did in that mess is just incredible. So, Vashti, thank you for being here with us today and sharing your story. Give us a sense of what that was like to get this news. Like, were you blindsided? Did you have a lot of symptoms? Did you think something was wrong? How did this happen?
Hi, thank you. Was I was definitely blindsided, literally. I had some minimal symptoms. They were some numbness and tingling in my left hand, some slight vision loss. So that's actually what I did was I took the path of least resistance and went and got an eye exam, and they told me that I needed to go to our local trauma hospital and get additional testing, and so that led to the MRI that led to the, evidence of the 7-inch brain tumor,
Oh, 7
and
inch.
obviously that sent me in 7 centimeters, sorry, 7 centimeter. And that sent me into, significant shock because it was taking up half of my brain, and, when you see those images, it just is extremely horrifying, and so then was told, "You've got 2 weeks," and 2 weeks before you get a craniotomy. I didn't even know what a craniotomy was, and so 2 weeks before going into brain surgery and before you get your personal and professional affairs in order, and, so that was extremely scary for me.
So let's back up because before you got this news, I mean, you had a pretty big job, pretty big role. Like, I mean, there was a lot of good things happening in your life. So take us back a little bit. What were you doing? What's your profession? Um, and what was your life like before this news?
Yeah, actually things were running pretty smooth for me. I was the executive director of the Snohomish County Music Project, and we were serving probably worked up to probably serving about 1,000 people of all walks of life per year annually, with music therapy services. So we had a very robust music therapy program that we had built in Snohomish County, and we had all through grant funding. So we had built up a strong program as well as an internship program. So we had built up a music therapy internship program as well. So something that I was so proud of being a part of. And so it was something that I was really finding a lot of great success in because we went from within 5 years, I was able to bring this budget from around 250,000 to about 3 million. So I
Wow.
was really excited about the growth that we had with the music therapy services within Snohomish County.
So great things, great. It's momentum, success, making an impact. After the diagnosis and during your process, like, what happened? Because I think you said that this was a 3-month journey, like, this wasn't in and out. What was the impact of the surgery? How did it impact you, and how did it impact your life and your business during that time?
Yeah, so it was a grueling, recovery. I had to go through occupational, speech, and physical therapy. I had to learn how to not only did I have to learn how to think, I had to learn how to walk, how to talk. I had to relearn all of my basic skills. So it was such a long recovery. And in that time, I had a lot of time to just really sit with myself and reflect and, think about how the nonprofit sector really, sets up women leaders for success and how they really somewhat sabotage them in a way. And so what I noticed is that women in particular struggle to have the resources they need, struggle to have the support that they need at times, and struggle to feel the confidence that they need to have a voice at the table when they are negotiating with board members, when they're negotiating for staff that they need, when they're negotiating for pay raises. So I just started noticing how, this was somewhat of a trend in the nonprofit sector, and that it was such a challenge and so difficult for women to succeed. And so this really has become my mission, is to really support nonprofit women in the nonprofit sector so that I can really make sure, because I love nonprofits, do not get me wrong. I, love the work that they do and the impact that they make in this world. And I have been in the nonprofit sector in some type of leadership capacity for about 20 years or more, actually. So it's not like I have planned or could even attempt to leave the nonprofit sector, and I just absolutely love the impact that they make, and so it's a sector that I wanna support. And, so I really was looking at how I could continue to support the wonderful, wonderful, dedicated women leaders in the nonprofit sector.
Well, I mean, that's so amazing. And what was it like for you when you were coming back after your brain tumor, after your surgery, after rehabilitation? Were you able did you have the supports that you needed, or did you start seeing, "Oh, man, this is a challenge now that I'm coming back?" Like, what was your return to work like? And was there a moment where you thought, "Okay, it shouldn't be this way?"
Yeah, so I did return to my job at the music project, and I really felt that that was going to support my recovery, but that the work that I was doing would be helpful in my recovery because I was doing budget work. I was doing a lot of analytical strategizing that I thought would be really helpful in my processes and how I was needing to think through things. So I thought that that would be really helpful. And so going back to my job, we then encountered COVID, and we were dubbed a mandatory organization for our services that we were providing. And so we were able to stay in operation throughout COVID, and it became really so important for me to make sure that my staff maintained their employment. I was able to uh, gain both of the PPP loans that were available throughout that time, as well as getting them refunded for the organization, and that was able to, ensure that all of our staff maintained their employment, which was the goal, and we also were able to pivot and able to offer a myriad of services outside of our music therapy. So we offered food distribution. We became a food distribution site. We offered some volunteer services, and then we offered the music therapy services became virtual. So we, pivoted and offered virtual music therapy services. So that I was extremely proud of as well. And then as time continued to go on, I had a reoccurrence of my tumor.
Mm.
And I ended up having to get radiation and get proton radiation for my reoccurrence. And I will say that right now, I go back every year to get MRIs and get rechecked to make sure that my reoccurrence is stable. So I am good.
Right.
But that was the radiation did set me back again and take me out of, I mean, it was a daily it was daily radiation that I had to go through for about, I wanna say it was 28 days.
Wow.
So, that was also really hard, and then the energy depletion from that was very difficult. And then when I started noticing after that was how people in my life just started leaving me because
Mhm.
they didn't necessarily understand the deficits that I was left with as a result of this injury.
Wow. And what would you say? Because it sounds like, and I don't know if you guys are hearing what I'm hearing, but this is somebody who found out she had a brain tumor. It was significant, had to have surgery, couldn't walk, talk, think. She had to relearn all of that, and then you recover, and you go back and kick ass and work again, making changes like nothing ever happened, being your own advocate. Then you get hit with another setback, and now the second setback, you're realizing that people are leaving. People are not understanding what you're going through. So there's personal impact. What do you think are like the biggest lessons that you've learned in that 'cause, I mean, people there might be some people that are listening right now that are like, "Okay, well, I never had a brain tumor," but they're getting hit with major setbacks and wondering like, "Okay, is this it, God? Like, how much more do I have to endure?" What did you learn personally in that process? Because I don't believe that things happen to us by coincidence or chance. I think that it's part of our spiritual path. What would you say was your spiritual lessons or your lessons that you learned from such a setback in life?
Mm. Um, okay, one, I was this experience was I was able to open up spiritually so much more because of this experience,
Mm,
and I'm so, grateful for that, because I will say that, prior to my brain tumor and prior to everything that I've been through, I was not able to fully live into my authentic self or present myself as I am now. So that is one lesson that I am so thankful for is that I now, um, with all of my personal development that I've gone through since my brain tumor and everything that I've gone inward to focus on, um, which I've had to do a lot of inner work.
mm,
And as a result of that, I have I have learned that one, I matter.
mm, Mhm.
I am worthy,
Mm,
and I am n my production, I'm worthy because of what I am able to produce because of my desired production, not because of, my outputs are not out there, that's not what I am out there trying to generate as and put out there for people to give their feedback to me on. I want feedback on people being happy in what they do. I
mm,
want people to find joy and happiness in what they do without feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. Because the overwhelm and burnout is what sneaks up and causes these hidden hidden deficits or these hidden, the hidden types of w diseases in our bodies that come up and that we need to be mindful of and aware of. So that's one of my messages is to be aware of what your body is telling you and to also, be aware of what your mind and your body is telling you and to, you know, not let people, and to be know that you are worthy because
yeah.
you are.
How many times do we attach our self-worth to our productivity? If I'm doing all of these great things, I'm worthy. But when we have this setback, when we are literally we can't talk, we can't speak, we can't w we're stopped, can we still find the
Yeah.
worthiness in our being and who we're being? Can we still see the lesson? Can we rise above and can we see that we're bigger than just our outputs? And I love the other part of your story where, yes, there's a huge mind body connection. And you were going, going, going. You were like on the go, doing a lot of things. And it's like, nope, we're gonna stop you here. We're gonna force you to slow down. Like, do you ever feel that it
Yeah.
was a forced slowdown? Because I know women, so many women are just productivity machines. We don't stop to the sun over roses,
100%.
right?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like my body was telling me something that my mind wasn't ready to let me hear yet. And so, ultimately my body was like, "Hold on. We've got a message for you." And it was a very uh red alert. It
Yeah.
was a and this is my message now to people is that you need to, be mindful of your work habits, how you are treating yourself
Mhm.
because you matter. And
Yeah.
so you want to be mindful of how you're treating your temple because it's the only thing you get to go home to.
Oh, man, I love that. You know, I'm hosting a retreat in October, and it's called Coming Home. We're coming home to ourselves,
Oh my
coming
god.
home to our community. So the fact that you just said coming home, I'm like, "Okay, that was my message from God. Yep, you're on the right track." I'm like, "I got it, I got it." So now what? Like, who if people are watching and they are resonating with you, your story, who do you help? How do you help them? And where can people find you?
So now I focus on obviously I work with nonprofit women who have struggled with the same things that I was struggling with, and I try to support them in finding their voice, finding their confidence. And my superpower is with fundraising and leadership development, and so I have programs that support fundraising and leadership within a nonprofit organization, as well as I I do one-on-one, work with nonprofit leaders as well. So anybody can find me at Well Balanced CEO. So that's my website, and that's where I am on all socials at Well Balanced CEO. And also just love helping people identify, doing life coaching and identify where they're stuck and how I can how I can help them feel more confident in their own personal choices as well. So, but really, loving helping people find out that they are true to themselves and that they are worthy and that they are important to themselves and their own inner compass.
Oh, I love that, I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you for sharing your story. I do totally believe sometimes setbacks are setups, and these major moments that seem so dark and so heavy and like we don't know how we're gonna get out. People like you that take those lemons and turn it into lemonade inspire me so much, and I do believe that by you sharing your story, maybe people that are stuck in the darkness right now will feel like, "Okay, maybe this is temporary for me too, and maybe I'll take this setback, this lemon, and turn it into lemonade, just like you." And without these stories, I think people stay stuck and they don't see a way out sometimes, so I'm really grateful for your time, your energy, your commitment to making a difference in people's lives. Thank you so much for being here. And for those of you that are watching, thank you for watching. If you are feeling like you're in the darkness and you can't see a way out and you don't know what your purpose is, sometimes you just got to reach out, have a conversation, and somebody could say, this is actually happening to help elevate your soul, to lead you closer to your purpose, and we're here to support you. So, Shetty, thank you so much for just the miracle and the gift that you are to the world. So grateful.
Oh, thank you. This has been a wonderful conversation, and I hope anybody that watches this enjoys it and gets so much motivation out of this.
Awesome. Okay, I'm Tina Brigley. I'll see you back tomorrow with another live, another inspiring interview, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.